Hello, my friends. Today we will take this image over here, and it's an image of this local cider. We will photograph this. I thought the label was just beautiful, and I wanted to photograph it. But I wanted to show you a quick, how I set up the lights, the set. We'll take the photo, then we'll take it to the computer, and we will edit it in Lightroom and Photoshop. Initially, I wanted to be this more like the editing part of this photo. But I figured some of you guys wanted to see the behind the scenes, so we'll quickly take this image and then we'll go and edit it into Lightroom and Photoshop. So what do we need? I'm going to use this table, and because this tabletop has like a green tint to it, I am going to put a white surface on it. So there you go, a white surface. It's just a white plexiglass. I could have put paper or really anything, it doesn't matter. There you go. Now I am going to put a diffuser on the back of the image, and I will shoot a light through the diffuser, and that's how we will get a nice, beautiful kind of glow behind the subject. So I need a C-stand for that. I will be using this C-stand. Let's see. We'll set it up. And for the diffusing material, I will use this, I believe it's Savage Translume Heavyweight. So this is what we will be shooting through. I am going to place this in here. Just like that. And that is going to be our background. It's about, I don't know, 12, 16 inches away from my table. Then I am going to need two other diffusers on the side to put light it from the side. If you only have one diffusing material, use it for the back with a speed light, and then move it to the side, take a picture again, move it to the other side, take a picture, and then composite them all in Photoshop. So we need more C-stands. I am going to use this one for this side. Just like this. And one more. I'll place this one for this side. And I think this is going to be good. All right, we'll go like this. Now for the sides, on this side, I will use this Lee diffuser. This is a 216 diffuser. So this is going to be on this side. Something like that. And then another Lee diffuser, we'll use it for this side. Something like that. So we have three diffusing materials, but we will shoot the light through the back for our background. Great. Let's put our subject. Where is my subject? I got my subject, the can. I am going to put it on, can you see over there? Let me lift this up so you can see what I'm doing. What I will do is I will use this acrylic, it's a mirror. It's an acrylic mirror, and this is what we would use to put the product on. So I will put my acrylic mirror just like this. I will have to clean it a little bit. Just using glass cleaner. This is Sparkle. I love this glass cleaner. Give it a good clean. It will give us less work in post-production. All right, just like that. Great. Then I want to put my subject. I'll give this one a little wipe, especially on the silver part. That's where it shows all the fingerprints. And I will put it right here on the end. Now, first I want to spray it with some water so it seems like condensation. So I'm just going to spray it. There you go. And then carefully, I will just place it right over here. And that looks good. I did got some water on the mirror, so I'm gonna wipe that. There we go. Then I will use, for the background light to shoot through the diffuser, I would be using, let's see. So through the background, I will be shooting this AD200 with a round head. So this is just going to shoot straight through the diffuser, no gels, no grid, nothing. I'm gonna go place this behind. And that should be pretty good. Great. And then for the sides, I will be using a couple of speed lights with a small strip box. So let's see, I'll squeeze through here. I'll just place these ones right here. Let's see, something like that. I better move my camera out of the way. And I'll place another one on this other side. Now, in these speed lights, you don't need to use speed lights because we do have the diffusing material, but I am going to use them, so there you have it. On that one, I have a Godox AD100, and this one has the Godox V1, just like that. I will angle it just a little bit because I don't want it to spill on the background. And then also what I will do is I'll bring these diffusion materials, something like this. That way I don't have to shoot the label. The light will just kind of bounce out of the diffuser and fill in the middle part as well. I could shoot the label, but I'm afraid if I do that, it might get a little bit too flat. So let's see what we can get. Try to get this as close to the subject. And I'm just kind of going to shoot through this pocket over here. Now that our diffusion materials are set and our subject is set, it's time to frame our image. And I know exactly what I want to do because I did take this image before, so it's just going to be a very simple shot. Subject is going to be centered, just like that. Oops, too much. Make sure it's straight. There we go. Make sure we make focus. And let's take our first shot. We're looking good, but the light in the back, the background light, it's a little bit too bright. So I'm going to dim that. Let's try that again. The sides are looking good. Great. Now it's looking good, but it's too dark. So we need to be somewhere in the middle. The side lights were good because I shot this image before, so the speed lights were already set from last time, but the one in the back, it moved as, I put it closer or further from the background. So let's take another shot. And that is perfect. I like that one. It's looking great. Let's make sure our subject is sharp, and it is. By the way, I have shutter speed 200, f11 for the f-stop, and ISO 100. I'm going to take one more image, and this is going to be just of the label. I don't think I will need to use it, but if I do need to use it, then I will have it. So I need another speed light. I will be using this AD100, and I'm just going to hold it at power 116. I'm going to put a 5-second delay here and take a shot. I'm going to angle it downwards a little bit. And there we go. That is our image. Now, let's go to the computer and see how we edit this, because I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done in post-production, and this is really what I wanted this video to be about, how we post-process this image, because I've done this image before and I had so much fun with it, and I really like the way it ended up. So let's go to the computer and see how we do this. Hello, my friends. Here we are into Lightroom, and this is the image we will edit. This other one, this is the image we shot for the label, but I decided I am not going to use it. I am going to go with the second to last image we took, and this is the one we will be editing. The first thing I want to do is to straighten my image, and for that I will use this angle tool. I will just click here and then on this other side, and there you go. Maybe I'll even crop it a little bit. Let's see, something like that. My product, it's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. We'll go with this for now. And let's see, for the edits, I want to increase the exposure a little bit, maybe something like that. Then I want to add some contrast, something like that. And I'm just gonna go all the way down to texture. I'm going to add some texture, maybe 25, and some clarity around 15. Then for the vibrance, I will go to around 25, 26, 27. That's good. And then I like the way it's looking overall. I do want to increase the whites into this label. And for that, I will create a brush mask. And I will just brush right here on the label. And don't forget to do the reflection as well. Hold down Option to erase if you went outside of the lines. And then add this reflection. And here, let's see, I missed a little part over here. I went a little bit too far in here. And for this one, I just want to increase the whites to make them brighter. Maybe 44, that looks very bright. And then I'll also bring down the blacks just because I want the rating to, stand out a little bit. Something like that. Now we still have some strong color cast. We did not take a custom white balance when we took the photo, but we will fix that into Photoshop. The only other things I will do, I will sharpen it a little bit. I will keep the default sharpening at 40, and I'll hold down Option while I move the masking because I only want to sharpen the product, not the background. And then remove chromatic aberration and enable profile correction. And now do Command E to send this image into Photoshop, and that's where we will finish editing the image. Now into Photoshop, I'm seeing this color cast into the light behind, and I want that to just be like that silvery gray. The same thing with the can over here. So what I need to do is desaturate those, but I don't want to desaturate the label. So I need to select the label and put it on a different layer. To do so, first I will duplicate my background, Command J to duplicate it. And then on this layer, if you're not used to use the pen tool, I will show you an easier tool to use. I know when I started Photoshop, I was just not comfortable using the pen tool. So the next easiest way to use it is to use this curvature pen tool. And this is so easy for beginners. Every time I show this to someone, they always find it so much easier to use it. You click on one point, you click on the next, and then you can click in between and just, adjust it as you need to match your curvature of your label. So here is the one cool thing about it. This one just makes curvatures, but if you need a point to be a straight corner, so not a curvature, for example, if I want to click here now, you see how it's trying to make a curve? If you hold down Option or Alt on the Windows and click on that point, it turns it into a straight corner point. So now it's not making a curve anymore. And let's see, I'll go all the way down and click over here. We have a straight line, and then I will go around here. And now you see how this tries to curve. So I need to turn this point into a straight corner, just like that. And then here I can just drag and add a point. And we're just going, along this label, just like that. Really easy. I find this to be so easy for beginners because, the pen tool, it is the most accurate, but it could be a little bit, nerve-wracking. It takes a lot of practicing to make it work. Hold down Option, make this into a straight corner, and then keep going until you finish the path. Here, I need to change this point into a straight one, so hold down Option, click on it. Gotta adjust it a little bit, just like that. And now that we close this path, what I will do, let's see, Command 0 to see the whole screen. So you see we chose the label, and I'll right click on it and I'll say Make Selection. And here I will have a feather radius at 0.5 and then click OK. And now we have a selection of that label, and click on the mask and that will mask it. Now, of course, we need to select the reflection as well. So Z and click on this 100. Now we're zoomed at 100. And we'll make a selection of this label as well. So keep making points, adjusting them. So again, if you're a beginner and you're not comfortable with the pen tool, please give this a try and let me know in the comments below if you found this to be useful and so much easier. I apologize for the background noise. I have my nephew I'm watching this weekend, and he is coloring and dropping his pens. So we'll make this selection, and let's see, something like that. There you go. Now we have to make this into a straight corner, and we have a good selection of this label. Right click on it, make a selection, have the 0.5 feathering, click OK. And now Command 0, you see we're not just selecting this label here, we actually have the whole outside here. So what we need to do is go to Select and Inverse, and now we just have this label selected. And with this label selected, we want to put it on the same mask, so I need to mask it with black. So I can just take my brush with the black color over here and just paint in it, and I will paint it with black on our mask. And we'll only paint into this selection, so even if I go outside, it's not going to paint outside. So there you go. Now Command D to get rid of those marching ants, and now we have this selection over here on the mask. So what do we do with this? Well, I want to desaturate the background, like I said, and also I want to desaturate these silver parts of the can. That's why we selected the label, because we want to keep the label. So I will create a hue saturation adjustment layer and take the saturation all the way down to -100. And now you see this saturated the whole image, even the label, but we do have this handy mask that we did, and I will just grab this mask and move it into the layer that I needed. And now you see we applied this mask to our hue and saturation layer. So now things are looking good. Now, if you really look at this label, you will see that this label has a yellow, color cast as well. So how do we fix that? There's two methods to remove the color cast in this. I will show you the first method that works, but maybe not as well. And that is if you go into selective color and then choose the whites here. And then you can desaturate the whites, take down the cyan, magenta, and yellow. That saturates all the colors into the whites. And you see, now it's looking a lot brighter and whiter. So that is one method. I'm going to delete that. Now my preferred method to remove color cast in Photoshop is to go over here into the brush and hold down Option or Alt on Windows and click on this label over here when I knew it was supposed to be white, but it's not. And this is the sample color we took. And then if you go into your adjustment layers and make a solid color adjustment layer, Photoshop will fill that adjustment layer with the color we chose. Click OK. Now all we need to do is go into the blending mode and choose divide. And divide will use this layer to remove color cast. So if I click this layer on and off, watch this. This is before, this is the after, before and after. It's looking much, much better. Now, of course, we can mix the two techniques when we can also go to that selective color that we did earlier, stay on the whites and desaturate the whites, and that will give us even a better result. Now, of course, this white is too bright, it's on the verge of losing detail, so we can reduce the opacity on this one until it looks right, maybe around 13%, and that just gives us a little bit brighter whites. Now another thing I want to do is I want to increase the blacks into this label and maybe even increase the saturation on the red into the apple. To increase the blacks into the label, I will make a level adjustment layer and I am going to drag these blacks to the right. If you're not familiar with levels, over here on the left you have the blacks, on the right you have the whites. If I move the whites to the left, you see I'm making everything white. If I'm moving the blacks towards the right, I'm adding black. And this is the mid-tones in the middle. You can move those to make them brighter or darker. So we'll leave those where it was, but I want to move these blacks onto the right to just give it a little bit more contrast. Now, I don't want to do that to the whole image. I just want it to the label. So an easy way to use the same mask that we did before, so we don't have to mask the label again, it's take this mask that we did, hold down Option, and then drag it onto the top. And that will just make a copy of it and put it there. Now, of course, this is selecting, if you know masking, white reveals, black hides. So right now, we're just applying this level adjustment layer to the background, but we want it to the label. So we need to inverse this mask. To inverse it, make sure the mask is selected and go Command I. And now we apply this level adjustment layer just to the label. Great. Now, if you want to increase the saturation onto the reds, we can go into the selective color and then we can go into the reds. And we do not have reds in here, but we do have cyan. And if we want to add more red, we have to take away the opposite color. So if I move, you see, if I move the cyan to the left, it just adds more red. So I can just add a little bit. I don't want to go too much overboard. And let's see our image so far. This is what we started with, and this is what we have right now. So again, this is the before, this is the after. And I think I'm really happy with the way it's looking so far. Now let's check for dust spots. Sometimes on the plexiglass, it's like a, magnet for dust. So let's see if we have any here. And we do. It's pretty much a big mess here. So I'll use the spot healing brush and take away the big dust. Let's make a new layer over here on top and use this one to clean up the dust. So I'll only take the big parts of the dust and then I will show you how to get rid of the small parts of the dust. So just, going through it. It's a little bit more in here. All right, we got the big chunks off. Now, how do we get rid of those small dusts? Maybe one over here we have. So Command 0, what I will do is make a stamp layer. So I'll go Command, Option, Shift, and E. And then here, I want to zoom in now again. Let's go over here where we have this small dust. And, I even have a sensor dust there. But then we'll go to Filter, we'll go to Noise and Scratch, Dust and Scratches. And here you want to pick a radius where it just blurs that small dust. And 19 is way, way, way too much. I find they're usually around 7 seems to work pretty good for small dust. And I don't see any dust right now, so I'll choose 7 and click OK. Now we don't want to apply this to the whole image because you see it does soften a little bit the image. So we want to make a mask. So I'll make a black mask. To do a black mask, you hold down Option and click on the mask. And now we need to paint with white where we want to reveal this smoothing effect to get rid of the dust. So choose your brush, and then here we have black as a foreground color. You want it to have white. So click X on the keyboard and that will toggle the two colors, make the brush smaller. And now we just get to paint with our brush onto this surface and we'll get to clean it up really nice. Just like that. And then if you find that this is not enough and you still have some dust, you can always go and choose a bigger radius. You apply again the same thing. So over here, I'll go into the image itself and use this healing brush just to get rid of this one dust spot over here. And there you go, Command 0 to fit the screen. And this is our final image. Right click somewhere on the layer on the gray side and flatten image. And now you are ready to export it. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Skyler Ewing. I'll see you in my next video.